Salam dear students, hope you are fine and doing well. Today we are going to discuss a comedy play by G.B. Shaw, Arms and the Man. Here is a detailed summary and analysis of the play. Summary: the play begins in the fall of 1885 during the Serbo-Bulgarian War. Raina, a Bulgarian woman from a wealthy family, learns from her mother, Catherine, that the Bulgarian cavalry have won a battle against the Serbs. Catherine adds that Sergius, Raina's fiancé, was at the head of the charge, and was as heroic in life as he appears in the picture Raina keeps in her bedroom. Luka, their servant, enters and warns Catherine and Raina that escaped Serbs fleeing the battlefield might be in the area, seeking refuge in the houses of Bulgarian families. Raina is not worried, and chooses to keep her window unlocked. In the night, a man enters the room through the unlocked window and says he will kill Raina if she makes a noise. The man is Swiss and an escaped soldier, fighting as a mercenary for the Serbians. Raina is shocked to see that the man is tired and hungry, that he does not glorify battle, and that he is merely happy to have escaped the carnage alive. Raina helps him hide behind a curtain just as Catherine, Luka, and a Bulgarian officer enter to search the room for any Serbs who might be hiding in the area. Raina convinces them that no one is in her room, and they leave. Raina gives the man chocolate creams, which she keeps in a box in her room, and is shocked to hear that the man has no ammunition for his pistol, as he normally only keeps candies in his pockets. The man argues that Sergius's cavalry charge against the Serbs was foolish, and succeeded only by sheer luck. The Serbs had machine guns but were given the wrong ammunition by accident, and therefore could not mow down Sergius and his men. Raina agrees to help the man escape later that night, though she rebukes him for making fun of her fiancé Sergius. The man sleeps as Raina enlists Catherine's help, and when Raina and Catherine return, they allow the man to rest since he has not slept for days. The second act begins in the garden of the same house, though it is now spring of 1886. Luka is engaged to the house's head male servant, Nicola. Luka tells Nicola that he will never be more than a servant, and that she has higher aspirations. Luka tells him she knows many secrets about the Petkov family, and Nicola says that he does, too, but would never blackmail his masters. Major Petkov, the head of the family, returns from the war. He reports to Catherine that Sergius will never receive the military promotion Sergius craves, because Sergius has no command of military strategy. Sergius enters and is greeted warmly by the family, and especially by Raina, who still considers him a hero. Sergius says he has abandoned his commission in the army out of anger that he will never move up in the ranks. Sergius and Petkov tell a story they heard about this Swiss soldier being hidden by two Bulgarian women during the soldiers' retreat. Catherine and Raina realize the story is about them, but do not say anything. Sergius speaks with Luka in private, and begins flirting with her. Luka reveals to Sergius that Raina might not remain faithful to Sergius, and Sergius is taken aback. They exit. A man named Bluntschli enters the family garden and Luka brings him to Catherine. Catherine realizes that he is the man that hid in Raina's room, the same man that she and Raina helped escape. Catherine worries that Sergius and Petkov, who are conferring over military plans in the library, might encounter the soldier. Sergius and Petkov have no idea that the story they heard about a soldier being helped by two Bulgarian women involves the Petkovs. Bluntschli has come to return Major Petkov's coat that Catherine and Raina lent him to escape. Raina is so happy to see him that she blurts out, "The chocolate cream soldier," when she walks in the room, only to recover herself and blame her outburst, implausibly, on Nicola. Petkov and Sergius, who have in fact already met Bluntschli during the war, ask Bluntschli to stay and pass the time. In the final act, the various tensions of the play thus far are exposed. Luka tells Sergius that the man with whom Raina is in love is Bluntschli. Sergius challenges Bluntschli to a duel because of this, but Bluntschli explains his way out of it. A picture of herself that Raina placed in her father's cloak for Bluntschli to find is exposed, proving that Raina has not been entirely truthful to Sergius. Raina admits that she has had feelings for Bluntschli since they first met. Major Petkov is aghast. When Bluntschli acknowledges that he has loved Raina, Sergius and Luca reveal that they have been having a secret affair at Sergius' instigation, and Nicola releases Luca from their engagement. Bluntschli, whose father has just died, has come into a great deal of money, so Raina's parents are glad to marry her off to him and his handsome fortune. Raina is revealed to be 23 rather than 17, enabling Bluntschli in good conscience to ask for her hand in marriage. Bluntschli promises to hire Nicola, whom he admires, to run the hotels he has just received as part of his inheritance. Sergius accepts Luca as his lover in public, thus satisfying Luca's desire to move up in the social ranks. The play ends with Sergius exclaiming, "Of Bluntschli, what a man!" Analysis summary. Arms and the Man. While Arms and the Man has its humorous elements, the inclusion of bleaker themes and social critiques throughout prevents it from coming across as a straight comedy. Many scholars consider the play to belong to the anti-romantic comedy genre, a term which reflects the way in which Shaw aims to challenge idealized perceptions of love and war through humor. This approach not only allows him to respond to the social and political contexts of the Serbo-Bulgarian War, it also reflects a broader move away from the conventions of the Romantic era in favor of realism. Throughout the play, the characters' commitment to ideas of glory, heroism, and higher love gradually falls apart until they recognize that they were merely performing their beliefs instead of authentically living them. Raina suppresses her doubt and dramatizes her love for her heroic Sergius, for example, until Bluntschli confronts her and sees through her facade. This tension between the idealized worldviews that the characters feel pressured to uphold and the harsh realities of the world they live in ultimately serves as the play's central conflict. The first act of the play, which precedes the other two acts by approximately 3 months, works to establish the Petkovs' romantic ideals and introduces Bluntschli as an opposing force. Between the lengthy stage directions that come before the first lines of dialogue and Raina's early references to doubt, Shaw hints at the falseness of the Petkovs' ideal world right from the beginning. The combination of luxurious and simple elements in the set design serves as a visual signal of their performative nature, particularly when it comes to their social status, and Raina's surprised reaction to Sergius's success in battle foreshadows her eventual rejection of an idealized worldview. Despite these clues that Shaw gives to the audience, Raina and Catherine seem completely convinced of the glory that their men have achieved by fighting in the war. Raina even goes so far as to reference Byron and Pushkin, two famous Romantic-era poets, in discussing how noble Sergius has proved himself to be. This overwhelmingly joyous tone, however, disappears when fighting emerges on the streets outside the Petkov home and a strange man climbs in through Raina's window. The stranger's arrival serves as the play's inciting incident, as both his presence and attitude challenge Raina's perception of war. As a professional soldier, he takes a rather blasé approach toward fighting, keeping chocolates with him instead of ammunition. He also compares Sergius's charge to Don Quixote's whimsical attack on windmills, and this literary allusion works to mock both his foolish actions in battle and Raina's false belief in them. Despite the eye-opening experience that Raina has with the soldier in Act 1, Act 2 features a continuation of the Petkovs' romanticized view of love and war. The rising action of the play begins as both Sergius and Major Petkov return home, receiving a joyous welcome from Raina and Catherine. Much like in the first act, the language the characters use to describe the men's experiences oversimplifies the fighting itself and places greater emphasis on the status it has afforded them. The idyllic romance between Raina and Sergius comes across in a similarly superficial way. As the rising action develops, these artificial pretenses begin to fall away and allow the audience to learn secrets about various groupings of characters. Sergius's infidelity becomes apparent as he flirts with Luca, for example, and Catherine and Raina panic when they learn that their men heard a story about 2 Bulgarian women sheltering a rebel soldier. Shaw's use of dramatic irony throughout this act works to add humor to the play while also highlighting just how inauthentic the characters' outward attitudes are. Bluntschli's arrival further complicates the Petkovs' ability to maintain their lies, as he is both Raina's chocolate cream soldier and a friend of Sergius and Major Petkovs from the war. With Bluntschli once again serving as a voice of reason, The events of Act 3 force the characters to let go of their romanticized ideals and allow them to find happiness in reality. The act begins with a scene in which Major Petkov laments his missing coat, an item which Bluntschli has just secretly returned. This moment increases the strain on Catherine and Raina as they attempt to hide the fact that they once sheltered Bluntschli, and the dramatic irony calls attention to Major Petkov's oblivious nature. Once the coat appears and Major Petkov is satisfied, Bluntschli and Raina have a private exchange in which he calls out her inauthentic attitude. Raina's admission of her lies serves as the first major break from the idealized worldviews that dominate the first acts of the play. Shaw follows this conversation with a private meeting between Sergius and Luca in which she reveals to him that Raina is in love with Bluntschli, a move which creates even more tension surrounding the secrets that the characters are trying so hard to keep. The play ultimately reaches its climax when Raina, Bluntschli, Sergius, and Luca confront each other about their lies. They finally learn all of the information that the audience already knows about their relationships and their true perceptions of each other. With all of these details out in the open, the romanticized worldviews the characters once tried to uphold fall away and allow reality to become clear. The falling action occurs as Major Petkov, the most oblivious of them all, discovers the truth about Raina, Bluntschli, Sergius, and Luca. Once he finally sees the reality of their situation, each couple can openly pursue the happiness they desire. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share and like the video.